HFY story begins. In the great sweep of the galaxy, countless civilizations rose and fell, guided by logic, conquest, trade, and technology. The Galactic Assembly, a council of the most advanced races, had catalogued over 4,000 sentient species. Each one unique, each one ultimately predictable, until humanity. When Earth's signal reached the stars, the Assembly watched with curiosity. Primitive, chaotic, emotionally unstable, humans were dismissed as a statistical outlier, a flare that would soon fade. Then came first contact. Ambassador Telnari of the Siraxi Collective was the first to meet them in person. She was a being of pure reason, genetically engineered to suppress anything resembling irrationality. Her mission was simple: evaluate Earth's admission to the Assembly. What she found deeply unsettled her. The human greeting ceremony included crying, not from pain, from joy. She filed her first report. Human emotional behavior is erratic. Subject smiles while weeping, laughs while expressing grief. This duality is beyond logic. She was not alone in her confusion. The Zyvalin, masters of telepathy, couldn't read human minds properly. Too noisy, too contradictory. They think in emotion, one complained. Their logic swims inside it. The Synthari, a species of AI consciousness, attempted to model human decisions. Every attempt failed. They act against interest. They risk for principles. They die for ideas. The Assembly sent more researchers, psychologists, war strategists, social engineers, all returned with the same conclusion. Humans do not process input-output like any known civilization. Their actions are rooted in chemical impulses they call emotions. These responses often override survival logic. Worse, emotions gave humans strength. At the Battle of Azure Gate, a single human ship refused to flee even after being disabled. Its captain transmitted a message. "We hold the line. Even if we fall, the message stands. We don't run." They were destroyed, yes, but that act delayed the enemy fleet long enough for a civilian convoy to escape. Billions were saved. Other species would have surrendered. Humans called it heroism. The Assembly called it madness, and yet they kept winning. A pattern emerged. Humans pushed harder after loss, united in grief, fought with fury fueled by love, rage, fear. Their scientists called it emotional resilience. To the rest of the galaxy, it looked like unreasoned defiance. At the Assembly, Ambassador Telnari confronted Earth's representative, a woman named Commander Arya Voss. "Why do you let emotions govern critical decisions?" Arya tilted her head. "Because they matter." "Explain, logically." Arya smiled. "When a child cries, we comfort them. When someone's hurt, we help. Not because it's efficient, because it's right. That's enough for us." The Assembly recoiled. Such behavior was unstable, dangerous, and yet there was something infectious about humanity. Other species began consuming human art, movies, music, literature. They wept over fictional deaths, laughed at absurd jokes. They began to feel, slowly at first, then widely. The Kralith, a species once known for sterile diplomacy, wrote their first song. The Vithari began experimenting with emotional relationships. Even Telnari found herself watching Earth transmissions late at night, transfixed by a film where two people fell in love across galaxies. When asked why she continued, she whispered, "I don't understand it, but it moves me." That was the shift. The Assembly realized human emotions were not a flaw, they were a force. A fuel no species had harnessed. the ability to turn pain into purpose, fear into courage, loss into legacy. It terrified them. Because a logical enemy could be predicted, negotiated with, controlled. But a species that fights with heart, a species that charges into fire for love, that creates art from tragedy, that sacrifices not for gain, but for meaning. That species can never be conquered. The turning point. A conflict flared on the outer rim. An ancient race known as the Morex attempted to wipe out a fledgling species. The assembly debated intervention. Logically, it was unwise. The humans didn't wait. A single human fleet jumped in, guns blazing. They lost half their ships, but they saved the species. At the emergency council session, Telnari confronted Arya again. You endangered your own kind. For strangers. Why? Arya didn't blink. Because someone had to. That is illogical. No, she said softly. That's human. The aftermath. The galaxy changed. Humanity became more than a member of the assembly. They became its heart. Their stories reshaped culture. Their empathy healed wounds. Their emotional chaos taught order-bound species the power of passion, of hope, of belief. And the one thing no simulation could predict. They inspired others to do the same. Even Telnari, once devoted to logic alone, found herself standing on Earth's soil, watching a sunrise, and feeling something. Maybe confusion, maybe wonder, maybe even joy. She filed her final report. The human condition is not a malfunction. It is their strength. Emotion is not weakness. Emotion is evolution.